guys? Welcome to the channel, Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I've got a gift request. John Hermes made a gift for me to do Ags Connolly. I had not heard of Ags, haven't done anything of his, and it's a gift request, so thank you for the gift, John. Wearing this for the simple reason that John said that Ags is probably the best country artist to come out of the UK. The UK, this is how I understand it, correct me, Fen Laurie and others who are in the UK and such if I'm wrong, but it's the three countries that make up the United Kingdom. And so England is one of the countries that make it up, but this represents the kingdom. Anyhow, and I don't think this is properly called the Union Jack. I think I had improperly called it that years ago, and something tells me that this is not the Union Jack. There's another name for it, but this is the one that represents the UK. Nonetheless, Ags, should you see this, we're going to check out your stuff for the first time on the channel. All right, John, you're on the clock now. This is very cool, though. Do you realize that now? That's the title.
In 100 years' time, someone somewhere will find
Any little Buffett feel, too.
one of the songs I wrote. Here's some words of mine. And I never sung a song I didn't want you to hear. So even after that long, it's gonna sound sincere. Do you realize that now, that I mean what I sing? 'Cause if you missed it somehow,
Accordion.
you're gonna hear it again. 'Cause it lives in my heart, and it's been written down the same way as a part. Do you realize that now?
That creates a consistency in life. That the way he felt then, he wrote what was true, stands by it today. And I love that because that it gives sort of a purity to life. And I don't mean a puritanical aspect to it. There's a consistency throughout his life. When your words can be true throughout your life, then you can always summon up your feelings and your thoughts about any moment in life. Because in many ways, they're the same ones that you have today. It does make it easier to remember who you yourself are and other psychological and emotional components to life.
I don't have much to offer now. I never did have anyhow. And I hope that wouldn't matter as long as the fire didn't go out. And I believed it was your mind that was controlling your heart. And that's the reason I've been trying to change it from the start. Do you realize that now? Does it change anything if it reminds you somehow? Then how true does it ring? 'Cause it lives in my heart, like it's been written down on some old tarot card. Do you realize that now?
Might have even realized it then, part of it. First impressions, wits, they're so powerful.
realize that now? Does it change anything?
I love that question.
If it reminds you somehow, then how true does it ring? 'Cause it lives in my heart, like it's been written down on some old tarot card. Do you realize that now?
I love songs that are a question. I do. Like one of the personality traits, this is an aside, but it's relevant to, I mean, it relates to it, that one of the books that I've written, I depicted 9, it's a philosophical approach to humanity, but I depict the 9 personality types that comprise the human race, one of which is a freelancer. And it's a very positive personality type, if you will, but they are oriented and very comfortable with questions. They tend to be very bright, very insightful, very deep, non-confrontational, but they're comfortable living in the world of questions versus the world of answers. And we all like answers, or with our penchant for pattern recognition. That's even involuntary. We human beings are wired for pattern recognition, basically for survival instincts, and secondarily for happiness instincts. And we like answers. We're literally schooled from a young age to get answers to things, but we're not taught to be comfortable with questions. We're not taught to not have resolution to our questions. Not all questions are answerable. What happens after this life, right? Is there an afterlife? Well, people will point to the Hebrew Bible or the New Testament and say, well, here are the answers. Others to the Quran, others possibly to the Karma Sutra and such, and say, these are the answers. This is what happens, and I know it. Well, you still have to die to find out if that's right. That's my general disposition on it. And you might be right, or there may be modifications that will be required of you in your thoughts. Maybe they'll be revealed. But all of that said, people who are oriented toward questions or just comfortable with questions and realizing they don't have enough information to come to a hard and fast conclusion, they tend to be very easy to be around. Anybody who will write a song that is a question, he is looking for an answer. I will say that. Does it change? I said it twice during it when he said, does that change anything, or does that change your mind? I'm like, that is a very bold question when a romance, a love life, a future with another person hinges in the balance. And he asked it. So he is looking for an answer. The answer that he obviously wants is from her, yes, I've changed my mind. You're the man I want. That's what he's looking for. He hasn't gotten it yet. So that's sort of thematically what I extrapolate out from the song. There are many other things I could, but the instrumentation was fascinating, John. It really had a lot of influences. I mean, I felt, of course, Jimmy Buffett, that Caribbean influence in there. But then with the accordion, the way it was played reminded me of like a Mexican influence in Texas music. I felt a little bit of Ireland in there. And I don't know what part of the UK that Aggs is from. I don't know what Aggs is short for. I'm assuming that's not his full birth name. Maybe that's his nickname. Maybe it's an abbreviation of a shortening of some other name, but maybe that is Aggs. Maybe that's the equivalent of Pat or Don. But Connolly's an Irish name. My mother was Irish. So the influences in here, I'm curious to know what Fen Laurie has to say about this, who's from the Fens of England. But yeah, I mean, you built him up to say that he's the best country artist to come out of the UK. We're going to have to hear more of his stuff, John, clearly, because that is quite the recommendation, let us say. But put that on your resume. I'm the best country artist to come out of the UK. Now, British conservatism would not allow, or British propriety would not allow such a boast. Yeah, the classic British understatement. That does not qualify. So I'm going to rate this song. And the number that popped immediately into my head was a Montauk Ed special, an 8.9. You guys have been on a roll lately of pricking my philosophical side, which is always present because that's just my nature. I like to look at nuance. I like to look at the macro picture, the big picture of things, and how they interconnect to dissect ideas and thoughts. And dissecting art, I mean, you could go in so many directions with it, but that was good. And I liked his voice. It had a vulnerability, but a masculinity at the same time. In this song, given the theme of the song, the nature of the song, he wanted the girl. That's a country song right there. And he's wanted the girl his whole life. Have you changed your mind yet, sweetie? Maybe she will. You never know. All right, guys. That does it for this edition. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.
Do you realize that now? That I mean what I sing? 'Cause if you missed it somehow,